And death thought that it had won. Death thought that in bringing that man who was also God into its belly, that it had won. But it grabbed life. We were at a crossing. Can you feel this? Can you touch the fear and dizziness of our moment? Can you sense the ground shifting beneath you? The sky spinning as a red tail swipes the stars from the heavens. There's no going back anymore. Two sides have risen, insuperable opposites with no medium to join them. The extremes are weighing in, and all reality is caught between Charybdis and Scylla. They told us the world was just a cacophony of colliding particles. We do stand in a dark room with strange eerie sounds coming from that darkness. But all hope is not lost. We know of this story. We know of this story of a man who went into death and surprised everybody by entering there. We know this story of someone who went into death, and death thought that it had won. Death thought that in bringing that man who was also God into its belly, that it had won. But it grabbed life, and a trick was played on it. And I believe that we can participate in that trick. Right now, all of us. The world is being re-enchanted. The atheists, the secularists, they were wrong. The world cannot exist without meaning. 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 It is impossible. Their war on meaning cannot be won. But as all of our stories have been shattered and broken apart, it has given room for all the dark things to come back up first. We know the story of the world. We know what happens next. There's always a spark hidden in the darkness. There's always a lit candle in that darkest place. Because without that lit candle, things simply do not exist. The Word of God is hidden in creation. And it is our job to find it. And it is our job as artists to help the world see that flicker. And there is an opportunity. Because a strange thing is happening in culture as Christianity is being evacuated from the public sphere. As our story is being tossed aside, it is nonetheless filling the world at the same time. And this is a mystery that even a few decades ago, people could not see. The strange mystery of death, the strange mystery of Christ entering in the tomb. We have the opportunity of seeing it happen right now. Because as the Christian story is being evacuated, we are noticing that it's reappearing in all the strangest places. Because the bright light of Christ is no longer so visible. All of a sudden, these small sparkles are starting to appear hidden in the cavern walls. And we see the story of Christ in the strangest places. We see some stupid superhero movie where the superhero falls to the ground and dies and then rises again. And we see another strange popular story coming up of someone sacrificing themselves for others, giving themselves for the weakest. We see twisted versions of people who are willing to do everything to bring up the weaker part of our world, to bolster it and to help it. And where do you think those lights come from? And so we have an opportunity, but we also have a responsibility. Meaning is inescapable, and we have responsibility towards it. It is a weight that we have to carry as artists. It is a very daunting responsibility that we have right now as the world descends into darkness, that we are the ones who can give it a little bit of hope. We are the ones that can point those little sparks, those small lights, those twisted versions of the true light, that we are the ones who can point it back to the one true light and origin of our world. And so I just wanted to maybe give people a challenge. And I know all of you watching this are probably artists. So I want to give you that challenge to jump into that story, to not think that the story of Christ is just the story we believe in to be saved, to jump into that story, to not think that the story of Christ is just the story we believe in to be saved,